Hey guys, this series is going to take you from Scratch to Python. Okay, so we're going to start off in our Happy Cat place and start off with some basic Scratch ideas, and we're going to do those same ideas in Python after that. Okay, so this should be, a few days of a unit. Looks like 10 or 12 assignments. In order of difficulty and usefulness, and I'll try not to introduce anything scary until it's necessary, but this is a quick overview of all the useful stuff in Scratch and then relating it to Python or real programming. So let's get started. Our first project, we're going to do input. We're going to do printing, and I'm using the Python terms. It's called printing, but it means putting something to the screen. So if I'm just using the default cat sprite, and you don't need to know a lot about Scratch to do this, so I'm not going to go into too much details, but I'm going to drag this out, and I got say hello forever or say hello for 2 seconds, and then it should disappear after 2 seconds. And that's how we print in Scratch. It's harder in Python. Let's move on. The next thing we want is input. Okay, so instead of just hello, let's ask a question. Okay, so let's quickly talk. One thing you do need to know is how to make this script run. You can click it, and it turns yellow. It glows until it's done. Or instead of clicking it, you can hook it up to a hat block, a rounded top, or event block. This is when the green flag is clicked, when a certain key is pressed, when this sprite is clicked. Okay, and there's other ones that we won't talk about right now, but let's do for now when this sprite is clicked. I like that. Okay, green flag is fun. You click up here and it happens, but I like it when the sprite's clicked. So let's click, the cat says hello. Let's go from printing or saying to input, okay? This is kind of hidden in Scratch. There's only one way to get the user to type information on the keyboard. Okay? There's a lot of ways for them to push keys, to move a character around for games and stuff. But to get a user to type information, we use the ask block, okay? So I'm going to move say to the side for now, and instead I'm going to ask what's your name and wait. Okay? If I just click this block by itself, it happens, and I'm going to say gibberish. And I'm going to hook this up to when the sprite is clicked, and I'm going to click the sprite, and it says, hey, what's your name? And I'll do Bob this time. And the question is now, where did Bob go? I typed in Bob. Can Scratch do something with my Bob, with my name? And actually, let's have the cat say, hello, Bob, back at me, okay? And you're like, well, I could just type Bob here. But when somebody else runs my program, like my grandma, and she puts in grandma, it's going to say hello, Bob. So we need to be able to look at what the input was, okay? So the block right next to ask is called answer. And sorry, let me actually remove this stuff down here. You don't have to do this. It's just leftover. But we're going to check this box called answer. And there's my Bob. Let's run this again. Let's click the cat again. And I can click the orange block up here too and say, Sue. My name's Sue now. So answer is a little variable, and we'll talk about that in a minute, that's built into Scratch. It always comes with Scratch. It's called answer. And it contains the last thing that was the last answer from an ask. Okay? So again, if I run this again and type silly pants square head, then it has that word up there, okay? Now, what can I do with that? Well, I can drag answer out, and this is a rounded block. This is actually a variable, and if I double click it, click it once actually, it'll show me what's in there, just like it shows it when I check this box here. Oh, where did you go? Oh, I can't go back. My answer blocks, but yeah. So let's go plug this in somewhere. Let's go say. And let's hook this up to, so if I run this right now, it's just going to say, I'm going to do Bob again. Oops. Click the sprite. Bob. It says Bob up here, but it's not saying hello, Bob, or anything. That's because this block's not hooked up. There we go. Hit it. Click the sprite again. Sumantha. And it says Sumantha, but I want to say hello, Sumantha. Okay? So we need to learn one more thing beyond that, and it's actually under the operators, okay? Question is, how would I combine hello and answer? Okay, in Python it's actually going to be easy. We're going to use a plus. We're going to go hello answer. The problem is I can't type hello in here. All that can be put in these plus blocks is numbers. Let's see, 2 plus e. Let's go e plus e. Okay, 0. Okay. So we're starting to see a hint that there's different types of things in programming. Okay, there's numbers, like 3 and a billion, and there's letters. And, oh, E is just a magic one. Luckily I hit E. I can't type any other letter in there. Okay. So plus can only be done with numbers, and we'll learn that in the math unit. 2 plus 2, you know, is 4. Okay, that spits out a 4. We'll learn more about that later. Do you see something else here that might work for letters and words? Well, it's none of the top ones. We'll learn all these later. It's down here at the bottom. It's called join, okay? What happens when I join hello, space, and there's a space at the end there, and world? Well, I get hello world. I'm going to use this. Notice this rounded block can be plugged in here, and I could say, I could run this, click the cat, bad, and it says hello world. What could I join here? Well, I could join hello and their answer, okay? So I run it now, click the cat. What's your name? It's Bob. Hello, Bob, okay? And you might think this is kind of silly now. This is a good start. Let's go a little bit further. Let's ask them for their first name and their last name, okay? And then we'll stop. That'll be our first project. What's your first name? Okay. Now, I'm going to say Bob. And where do I plug in? I'll put Bob here. And let's join Bob. And what do I plug in the second block? Do I plug in answer again? Let's see what that does. Well, you know it's going to say hello, Bob, or Bob. Just Bob. Let's try to get a space in there, because notice I could put my name is Bob space, and it would put space there. But how do I get, Bob Jones? How do I get a first and last name? Well, I can't use answer to hold more than one thing. It can only ever hold one thing, kind of like a cubby hole in kindergarten. It can hold your boots, and then there's no more room. Variables in programming can usually only hold one thing, and then they're full. Okay. So let's go. We need to make another variable. I'm actually going to make 2 of them. I'm going to make a variable. I'm going to call it first name. And don't worry about this for all sprites. Just leave it alone. Later on, we'll talk about for this sprite only. This is public versus private variables. All we care about is for all sprites. Leave that alone. First name. Okay. And now, first name right now has nothing. It has a 0 in it. And these variables can hold numbers, big numbers, words, letters, anything like that. They can actually also hold other variables, okay, by dragging them in. Now, so let's go right after I ask first name. Well, you think, I want to print answer. Well, I need to join 2 things. I need to make 2 variables. So let's go set first name to, what did I get from here? Where did it store Bob? It put it in answer. So I need to, set first name to answer. And then let's just say answer to make sure that works, okay? So run this bad boy, click on the cat. I am still Bobo no, I'm not Bob anymore, I'm Bobo the clown, okay? Answer has Bobo the clown in it, because that's what happened on the blue block. And first name, the variable, if I want to change that, I can drop the arrow down, also has Bobo because of this block, and then it says answer. Do you see where we're headed with this? Let's see if you can stop this, pause the video, and finish this off to do first name and last name. It's not too hard. And actually, for a challenge, see if you can say hello, first name, last name. Okay? So let's pause it. I said pause! Welcome back. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do it now, but I want you to have tried this. If you wrestle in programming, you'll get stronger. If you sit there and just watch things happen, you're going to get flabby, and you won't progress as a programmer. And hopefully that's your goal for being here. Programming is fun if you wrestle, if you try, and you'll get your butt kicked. Like, you'll lose a lot of times, but when you finally conquer the program, you'll feel so much better about yourself, okay? All right, so say, let's get rid of answer. Let's put it to the side. I don't want to use answers if I can avoid it. Let's instead say, hello, first name. And let's run this. Click the cat. Samantha, whatever your name is. And it said hello that. Can you think of how would I put last name there? Well, rinse and repeat. I know this is all the box I know how to use right now. I know how to make a variable called last name for all sprites, I mean. And I know I need to set it before I say anything. So let's go set last name. I don't want to set it to 0. What do I want to do? I want to ask him again. I want to ask, hey, what's your last name? Okay, so I'm actually going to throw this away and show you a cool thing. You could drag out all these blocks again. You can also right-click on the higher block. If I right-click up here, it's going to duplicate all 3. I want to right-click on the ask block and duplicate and put it down there. And I need to just change the stuff that's different, right? What was your first name? Well, now what's your last name? And now I want to set last name to their new answer, okay? Every time I ask something, answer can be changed or does change, okay? So to throw stuff away, I have to throw it in the middle here. Now I could say hello first name, hello first name, hello last name, and this will just say Bob Jones or Sally Smith, whatever. How would I get a hello on there too? I can't click anywhere to type hello. What's your first name? Why did the program freeze? Bob. Last name. Oh, Sally. I want another hello on there. I can't use pluses. I can use, join. This is called nesting. Okay, if you've ever heard of the Russian nesting dolls, let's go look at a picture of those real quick. Russian nesting dolls have dolls inside of dolls. Okay, we're going to use nesting a lot in programming. I'm going to nest a join inside a join. Okay, before I do first name, last name, let's go nest some simple stuff. Instead of nesting hello world, let's go hello there fish man. Hello there, man. And it's going to join all 3 of those. Okay, I want a space there. I want a space after the E. There we go. Hello there, man, spaceman. Now, instead of joining just normal words, where would I put this? If I put first name here, what's it going to say? It's going to join Bob, there, Sally. That's going to be silly, okay? Let's go hello, first name, last name. Okay? And we're going to plug that in. It's going to say that, and this should work. We're going to have one last problem. Hello, Bob Jones. No spaces. Let's fix that. Let's put a space here. Oh, gosh, we're going to need more joins. Join first name and a space is going to go in the first block. And in the second block, we're going to join last name. Ooh, no. I need a space there. Hello, space, Bob, space. I actually don't need to do that again. I should be good. Oh, gosh. We're good on that, right? Sorry, I joined too much stuff. I don't need. No, I do need a space there. Okay, sorry. Join first name, space, last name. There we go. That was hard. Yeah. And this is awkward. Nesting gets confusing, but eventually it'll make sense. And just so you know, it follows an order of operations that we'll talk about later. It does the inner join first. Not that it matters on joins, but eventually when we do math, it might matter. Okay, let's try this. Sally Smith, hello, space right here. Sally, space right there, and then Smith, okay? And I could join a period on the end or whatever I want. That's a good stopping point for this lesson. You have learned printing with say, you've learned input with ask, and variables. Create variables under data, and you can set, you can also change and show and hide these variables up here in the window, okay? That's a good start. We'll see you in the next lesson. Oh, when you're done, make sure that you save your project to be safe and share it and put it in the proper studio to get points, okay? I have a studio for this exact lesson, and everybody will just share it and add it to that studio. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next.